Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, B Farm, thinking right out here in my lab, in the book. Ooh. I'm walking you down to Judgment Day. In case you ain't been paying attention or noticing, I'm getting you to know what you need to do when it's your turn to be judged. So that's the name of the game. That's this lesson I'm about to get. I got a paragraph. I think it might be a whole lesson. So let's go. I'm going to do okay, I'm not teaching. Today I'm going to preach. How about that? I'm going to take a little bit and make it a whole lot. I'm going to feed the multitudes knowledge. Let's go. All right, I'm having fun today. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. And I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through? That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you got to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, hey, he's spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. I appreciate you. That's what I do for you. Yeah, okay. Excuse me. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. Damn. To my eye, be true. Still got a brain freezer there somewhere, but it is what it is. Let's go. Let's talk about selfless service. And right thinking philosophy, way of life, is through selfless service. That leads to what? A meditative mind. I'm gonna show you a little right quick. Wait, I got to get this in right quick. I might not get this into the lesson. This is the lesson of a meditative mind. You see the heart on one side, that ab, you see how it's spelled conscious? That's you. That's your heart, conscious. The other side is the feather mayat. Okay? That's the consciousness, supreme consciousness. You have to weigh out with that consciousness. That's the idea. I'm trying to get you to understand that. So when it's your turn, I'll break it down for you when we get there. But right now, let's get with the selfless service aspect. This is a beautiful thing. Selfless service is known as karma yoga. Why? Remember, you reap what you sow. And if you're selfless server, that means you're giving. God bless what? The cheerful giver. If you're a giver, that's a selfless servant. If you're a giver with intent, that's sneaky and deceitful. Let's talk about it. And God knows the heart. So if you think because you tricking somebody that you getting over, no. God got that covered too. We call her karma. That's why we got karma. This is the philosophy to show that part right there. This is the part I'm exposing all you sneaky people right here. Let's go. It's called karma yoga. And in India yoga philosophy, and it is what? The performance of your actions with the attitude, right? The mindset of what? Relinquishing or conquering what? Your ego desires. Right there, your lower self. Your lower self is the waist down. That's ego. That's what it all it knows. It ain't gonna know nothing else. It ain't gonna do nothing else. That ain't your job. Your job to get better than that. So you let the ego work for you. If it's running you, you have problems with what? Your nature. They call it nature for a reason. Your ego desires, and watch this. By doing that, allowing your higher self, Haru, the spirit in you, to what? Dictate your actions. Let your higher conscious be your God. That's the Haru. That's the spirit that's in you. Once you make connection with Haru, now you're good to go. Okay? Why? The ego is under your control now. That's not your problem now. You can work on other things in your life. In this manner, watch this. Now you reach what they call what? Contentment will arise. Why? Because now one becomes mentally free of what? I call it BS, drama, but they call it tension. Same thing, okay? But the tension derived from what? Conflicts. Watch this. Where's the conflict? There's a conflict between one's consciousness, spelled conscience. That means your heart conscious. When your heart and mind ain't on the same page, you have conflict within yourself. Watch this. And the conflict between one's conscious mind, which is the heart mind, and one's desire, your ego mind up here, that's all it knows. And at the same time, you free yourself from what? Karma. Your actions will be dealt with accordingly. That's karma's job, not God. God blesses you. He got that covered. Everybody has a role. Everybody has a function. And everybody's function is the same. God blesses. Karma gives you what you deserve. Anubis, your discernment. Okay, I said your intuition. Now, I didn't run down all of them. I know. I got them. That's the whole point. You need to have all those qualities for the aspects of you mastered for yourself. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. And with selfless service, the ego, what? Selfless service is now serving what? Oneself in the best possible way. Why? Because one serves the highest self, which is what? In everything. So you're serving God, and if you're part of God, you're serving yourself. This is what he's trying to get you to. Sorry, but to break the spoiler alert. But watch this. Now, in oneself, God is in everything. It's got to be in you too. Now, in others, even the sky, the ocean, everywhere. Again, understand that. So now, from the highest perspective, intellectually, perfect selfless service. Knowing why you're doing what you're doing and doing it for the right reasons, what happened? You're working to bring what? True harmony, where? And peace into what? One's own life through what? The attainment of spiritual enlightenment. When you living right and doing right, things just gonna work out. And you gotta remember, daily meditation and study helps you progress in life. Some people think, I got my diploma, I got my master's degree, I ain't gotta study no more, I know everything I need to know. I tell you, I'm a master, the right thing in philosophy. I'm a student in life. I'm going to always be until I die. I don't think I'll ever master life, so I'm just keep working. Okay, now, when you obtain that enlightenment of oneself, what happens? It also the most selfish, the selfish way of life. It's all about me. Until I can get me where I need to be, I can't help you. So now that I am where I need to be, all I can do is help you. I can't hurt you. I'll never take. I'll always give. Why? I got knowledge of self. I can give that, and I do daily. What's this? So this is the most sane way of life. Why? Because fulfillment can only arise out of what? The satisfaction of what? The higher self. Feeling good about my mother-in-law, my spiritual advisor, she says she always felt good doing right. She never felt good doing something wrong. How many of us can say that? I'm saying it now. I realized, I learned. She did this on her own. No college degree, none of that. No. She manifested it from herself. That's the beautiful thing to me. That's what I admire and respect, because she created her own reality. And she lived in it. And still today, still living it. People still can't figure her out. But when you feel good about helping somebody, that's the godliness in you. If you feel good beating somebody down or getting over somebody, getting the better of somebody, if that satisfies you, you ain't a good person. Simple as that. Watch this. And instantly, insanity develops what? From the search for what? Pleasures of the flesh satisfy the ego. Why? Because the ego, I keep telling you, can never be satisfied, because it is an illusion based on itself. That's it. It don't know nothing else. It ain't trying to. It ain't your job to do it. It's your job to get past it, conquer it, put it in a position where it just going to do what it's going to do. Remember, we all have roles. They're not going to deviate from the role. People are who they are. They're not going to change until they want to. You can't change nobody. Start with yourself. That's what I'm trying. Mike, man in the mirror, again. Watch this. But selfless Selfless service is giving. Does not mean, what's this, service to your country or that to promote patriotism. No. Racism. I'm black. I don't got a problem with no other color. I'm not a racist, okay? But wide feeling of envy. I am not envious of no one. This is the mind, mistrust, hostility, and selflessness. These are the things that's going on in society right here. Let me go back and break it down to you. There are only larger, selfless service ain't to your country, okay, ain't to your sex, ain't to your color. No. That's just what selfless service does not mean, okay? I'm a traitor because I'm for the country. I'm racism, no. Sexist, no. These are only what larger forms of what egoism, okay? Which in the end leads to a society-wide feelings of envy. He don't like the one. Neighbor don't like the neighbor because this, that, and the third. Mistrust. Nobody trusts each other. Back when I was coming up, it took the village to ran the kid. Okay, we had a village around us to protect us. We had that. Now there's no trust. Hostilities. We getting more and more racial tension starting to get permeated because of the rhetoric and what people think and feel. Things are starting to change. And in the end, this is all based on what? Selfishness. I'm doing my next lesson is about those kind of people. Selfish people. Selfish people are not good people. Okay? If you're selfish, you're not a good person. You can profess and claim and hoorah, but when it comes down to it, that ego steps in and you're going to say, I, my, me, mine. I say that for a lesson, but that's what I'm headed, because I see a lot of things going on. Remember, I just address issues that I'm going through. I try to give life lessons, but I'm addressing them as I go. That's the next one that's coming up. But let's talk about meditative mind. I showed you the picture, okay? Remember, the conscious mind with the ab, that's the heart. But then you got the feather Mayat, she represents wisdom and justice. Everything that's divine, that's what Mayat represents. It's your job to live it to perfection. And at Judgment Day, we're going to put your heart to the test and see how Mayat you live. Real simple. I'm getting to the Judgment Day coming up. I got to get through all this. To me, this would be fluff, but I got to give it to you. So, all right. But you see here, Miss Connect, Miss Karma, she's the birthing brick. She's there at birth. She's there at death, okay? She's always around, okay? That's the God in you. That's who she represents. And Miss Connect, on the birthing block, she precedes at the judgment of birth and at death of every individual soul. That's her job, okay? Karma, to give you what you deserve, okay? From the day you're born to the day you're going, she keeps track of that. That's Tahuti, that's the mind, but that's her job also. Her job is to drop it off on you when it's time to go. Now, we talk about living a meditative mindset. Understand this. The mind can go anywhere. History, back, forward, future, imagine, but the body can only stay here. When you understand that, watch this. The mind as matter, which is your consciousness, may be transmuted from what? From one state to another state. From ignorant state to the enlightened state. From degree to degree. Low degree to a higher degree. See where we're going with this? From condition to what? Condition. Pole to pole and vibration to vibration. Transmutation is what? You ready? Mental art. Master the art of thinking and you master yourself. Why? Because it's all mental. That's the first law of the 7 principles, Hermetic principles. And everybody knows that. So that's a big thing. And that's the Egyptian proverb. It didn't just start. We got it a long time ago. And everybody, I found out, everybody got a judgment day, the way of the soul, they call it. They don't call it the heart. They call it the way of the soul. Again, misinterpretation. We broke it down for you so you know your heart and your mind had to become one. And at Judgment Day, that's what's going to be questioned. Did you connect it to? How Mayat did you live? Did you fulfill your obligation? What? Again, in knowledge of self? By living right, doing right? Offering up self-service, knowing thyself. These are criteria. All right, let me get to the lesson really quick. I see. All right. But the most important quality that we can develop is that meditative mind. If you're not meditating, you never get in touch with God. But I don't This ain't debatable. Just make the point. So you can do one of two things. Continue to be out of touch with God or learn how to meditate. Simple as that. That's your choices. Don't give me a bunch of this, that, and the third. Don't care. This is not to be thought of as only the mind of a person that sits in a state of deep concentration, meditation, sitting in those positions. No! Excuse me. No! It's sitting in a person that sits in a state of deep catatonic meditation. But a person, a real person, who he or she is involved in the affairs of the world all the time, knows his or her true identity. I pay attention to what's going on. Okay, but I'm doing my own thing. What's going on ain't got nothing to do with me. Why? They didn't ask my opinion about nothing. They doing what they got to do. I don't need their opinion to do what I need to do. Enlighten you. That's what I do. And this is the mind that interacts with with every moment existence. Unlike the previous discussed automatic mind, which just works on autopilot. Okay, it's just gonna go through the motions. A lot of us just live life just on that autopilot. And this quality right there represents the vision of who? Haru, the higher you, which is the vision of the vision to be regained. Right there, I just did a lesson about knowing thyself is really remembering thyself. And that's what they tell you right here. Your vision need to be regained. You went blind, just poked your eye out. You need to open that eye up again. Now, in a sense, philosophically, people living, watch this, in the ancient societies, such as that of Egypt, watch this, and even in India, would not have needed to practice formalized forms of meditation as much as we do today. Why? They didn't have a bunch of distractions. They didn't have a whole bunch of stuff going on like we do now. That's what they're telling you. But it still work. It still work. I try to explain to you about telepathy. This is because back then, knowledge of the existence of God and the gods was not an object of speculation. You didn't have choices. That's what it was. You didn't question it. You just did it. And it worked. So you didn't have no problem. But it was inherent, in the very fabric of the culture. Again, we have cultures that live by their culture. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I've got a problem with Puerto Rican, Indian, whoever y'all are, whatever it is. I don't have a problem with nobody, period. We should not, because spirituality was an inseparable part of their practical life. They lived it. Again, I live my philosophy. It ain't a religion to me, but it's a way of life. I go to church to do religion, okay? But I live a philosophical lifestyle based on what I know is best for me. So therefore, back then, their minds would be constantly thinking about God and accommodating the divinity, accommodating divinity regardless of their activities. I told you, when you become God conscious, you got Christian, Muslim, and Jews. They keep the spirit of Allah, Christ in them, and everything they do. That's being God conscious. I say the same thing. Okay? No, I live it. And if you living by your commandments, I don't have a problem with you at all. You won't have a problem with me. That's the difference. And I keep God in everything I do. This attitude, aka God conscious, in itself, constitutes a constant meditative state of mind. Sorry, I get excited. Because, a similar technique of spiritual discipline, knock my word right there. That's what I practice. Spiritual discipline. What's this? Enjoined by today, modern day spiritual receptors, know what they call it? Now, today, mindfulness. We call it Nihas, now it's called mindfulness, to be conscious, wherein, watch this, one maintains a sense of one's divine essence when, at all times and at every moment, while performing one's daily tasks, breathing, walking, resting, or even while answering nature's call, meaning you're in the bathroom. When I'm in the bathroom, I ain't sitting there thinking. I ain't sitting there thinking. I'm sitting there thinking. I use my mind. Even when I'm sitting on the toilet, I still got God on my mind. That's what they're telling you. I ain't making it up. It ain't ludicrous. It's just a fact of life. If you're going to be with God, let God be with you all the time, even when you make the call to nature. Simple. Also, watch this. It was known as what? The development of the witness. I just told you, meeting your eternal witness is having knowledge of self, remembering self, but you have reached God, the one that's hidden inside you. You reached it. And this technique aids what? Your spiritual aspirants, aka right thinkers, in what? In their developing of an expanded awareness aside from what? The calming, waking consciousness. Okay? You are more in tune. You're more awake. You're hyped up, so to speak. You're vibrating at another level. They can't see it. Why? Because they can't see the high vibration. Low vibration is what materializes. High vibration stuff you don't see. Understand that. And through this practice daily, now what? Your soul separates, what's this? Itself from what? From the ego, personality. It knows better now. The ego, shut up. Not shut up. Okay? You got no more say so. Like the little boy told Trump, shut your mouth. That's what Haru would tell the ego. Just shut your mouth. You shut up. Sorry about that. But when you obtain this knowledge of yourself through what? Personal identification with who? Yourself. Instead of your body, again, your higher self. When I say self, not the physical body, it's the higher self, and your mind and your senses perception. When you're seeing the world through that open vision, Haru, you're seeing the world for what it is. Why? You're enlightened now. The eyes are open. What? The eternal eye, the inside eye, the third eye. The one that wink, not the one that stink. He who grasps, watch this. This is perfect. I'm going to ride this one out. He who grasps the truth of the mental nature of the universe, aka God, is well advanced. What? On that path to what? Self-mastery. Bam! I'm gonna drop the pin on that one. I'm gonna stop right there. I can't get no better than that one. I want that to let it simmer, let it marinate. And closing right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100. May 100 minus a day. So I never let my right thinkers who learn how to live in meditative mind state have passed away. I'll be right back.